Hello and welcome to the channel that teaches you the things your parents and teachers are too afraid to, the Helios blog. Today, Kevin Samuels explains why modern women are running away. This should be interesting.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Because you can just tell your daughter to go to get a college degree and she's going to follow in your same footsteps. She's going to be a single mother.
I'm a PhD.
I mean, I feel like she could still go to school, but still,
I feel like.
you know, be in a relationship, get married. Like, I've seen stories where people get married.
I have seen stories, therefore, my experience is reality.
What's more important? What's more important? School or marriage? You can't have both. Pick one. Which is more important?
That's a hard decision, though. Just given,
Pick one.
No, it's not. Hand tattoo.
marriage is more important.
Good.
Do you really believe that?
No.
I feel like it is.
I feel like.
Because that, I feel
Well,
like
if you
that's
really believe that, if you really believe that, then you'll be prioritizing that in the way you talk to your daughter. I think you're
Indeed.
saying that because you know it's probably the right thing to say, but I don't think you believe that.
No, I do believe it. I do believe marriage is like, I mean, because at the end of the day,
Is it
that's
more
the
important than going to
be all
college?
procreate.
No, never. Strong, independent women, that's more important.
Is it more
You know
important
what I
than
mean?
going to college?
By the way, I came up with a theory a few days ago. Now, you guys let me know what you think in the comments here. So, here's the idea behind womanism, really. The idea is to tax multiple families, right? So, before you'd have like the nuclear family or whatever, the extended family, it depends on your neighborhood. And basically what that means is you can tax one house and so on, one set of groceries and all that. With a broken family, you can tax two. So you don't double your money, but you certainly increase it, statistically speaking, right? If broken families are more likely to be created. And so the problem with that is that it reduces your birth rate, right? So it's unsustainable model. So how do you fill that unsustainable model? Well, what you do is you bring in immigrants, right? Immigrants who don't have that womanist, wokeist, brainwashed mindset. And so what happens is the men in your society, they don't marry the women in the society, the brainwashed women. No, they marry the feminine ones that have been imported. So you tax the girls that are brainwashed. You tax the newly formed families who then have children. Those children then become brainwashed by a society. And so the girls in those families, they don't get married or whatever. Their likelihood of getting married is lower because not all men are strong enough to repel the cultural tide, as it were. And the cycle repeats, right? Then import more girls, the men marry the imported girls, and so on, right? And in doing so, what you've actually done is you've increased your country's income at the expense of culture and happiness. But again, in a capitalist society, why would one care about such things?
I think the reason why we're on...
Is it more important than going to college?
It's more, I feel like it's more important to go to college because not everybody goes to college.
This girl can't even say college.
You think it's more important to go to college?
To be married and have a life
Ma'am,
partner.
you got a college degree.
Did she just say life partner? Yeah, I mean, case in point, exactly what I talked about. There it is, guys. There it is. Exhibit A.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so what? You got a college degree and no husband. Anybody can be a baby mom, just like anybody can go to college. It is
Indeed.
more important to be married than go to college because most people have jobs. We got people who come into this country illegally who surpass the people who've been in here for generations because they have family. You're alone as a single woman with a baby. Are you making over $100,000 a year?
I'm not.
Then, ma'am, you are doing it all by yourself. Would it not be better to have a husband and his mother and father and your mother and father and all of the extended family that comes along with nuclear families? Even if you were making...
Actually, what's funny is the nuclear family thing is an invention by the United States as well. Before, it was the extended family model, right? Where you don't just have like a closed unit, you have the whole fused unit of, you know, parents and children and grandparents and all that living in a, you know, if not by like in the same house, in close proximity, so everybody helps everybody, or, you know, more or less as needs allow, right?
Middle class money. If you had 2 sets of grandparents and 2 sets of cousins, would it not be better than single mama degree by yourself?
Of course it would be better.
It would be better, but then it's like, it would be better. I said,
But then it's what's the fear? What's the fear though?
I do, but I think it'd be better, like, if we could say it's better if we lived in this perfect world, right?
No, we could say
no. No. What? Okay, so she just told on herself. She just said it would be better if we lived in a perfect world, but we don't, and so girls need a degree.
I don't want that perfect world example. We could say it's better if women acted like y'all. We could say,
especially from where I come from.
We could say it's better if women acted like. It's not a perfect world. It's a matter of you ladies staying in your damn place and not leaving your relationships.
Indeed.
This is true, but I mean, men have to do the same though.
Well, when you're not marriage material, it's not a big surprise that men leave every week.
In a sense.
See, what I want you to understand is this is the same bullshit verbal judo that y'all always do.
Mm-hmm. As far as like just
50, we have a higher than 50% divorce rate, but 8 out of 10 times women initiate divorce. Women leave relationships, not men. See, what I want you guys to understand is I just asked a very simple question. Which is better, going to college or being married? She knows being married and coming from nuclear families on both sides is better, but she can't say it because it would invalidate what she's doing. So she has to say, no, you need college so you can have a job in case a man leaves you. But the problem is, you ladies are the ones that are wrecking your own homes. You ladies are the ones that are leaving. Men are doing what we're supposed to. Women are out of control today.
But I said that's why I said that's how we were conditioned to think, though. And I'm not.
Yeah, but since you believe the conditioning, even though you know that it's conditioning, you believe in it. You're not living against it, so you agree with it. Like, it doesn't matter if you know that it's conditioning or not, you're not taking any responsibility. And so because you're not taking any responsibility, you're not going to change. And because you're not going to change, well, guess what? You're screwed in the long term. That's what Kevin's getting at.
I'm not discrediting that. That is 100% true.
Conditioned by whom? Conditioned by whom?
Women.
Conditioned by whom?
Just conditioned by the family. Whom? I mean, if we're going to speak on a micro level.
I want about conditioned by whom? Men or women?
Women more so. You're
okay,
right.
Well then, ma'am, men can't do anything about that. You said.
Yeah, women promote the culture, right? So.
That's who we condition. And I'm saying, who did the condition?
Mothers,
grandmothers. Then don't say that's how we were conditioned. Say women conditioned us. See, when you say we, that puts me and men like myself and other men in that system. We don't want to be in your mother's and women's shit. We want you to hold the women responsible for conditioning you to be single mothers.
That's absolutely true. But also what I've seen in broken homes is women also condition their sons as well.
Sure, yeah. That's why we want it to not happen anymore. Yeah, that's the reason why. Because it wrecks everybody.
So I wouldn't say it's only women. And I've seen it.
Ma'am, but if they're in a broken home, who broke that motherfucker?
That's right, exactly.
Who broke it? Who broke it? The husband, the mother, or the daughter? The mother or the mother or the mother or the father? No monologue. No, it depends. Who broke it? The mother or the father?
I don't know, because if I
99% of the time, it's the woman.
Shit.
my grandparents,
Bullshit.
Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky.
The mothers break the
I
homes.
use
Bullshit.
no, if
Bullshit. Women continue. This is where the numbers come in. No,
Right.
this is where the numbers come in. I don't care about your micro. In general, who is leaving relationships today? Is it men or is it women?
80% of the time, it's women, by the way.
Who's filing for divorce, ma'am?
It's today, but we can't only look at
Yes,
today.
ma'am. Prior to night. Okay.
Because it
What
started
number do you want to go back to?
today.
What number do you want to go back to? Because men have never been the ones breaking homes.
Indeed.
See, this bullshit that y'all believe. When? What do you want to go back?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let's stop right here. Stop right here. What point in time? Stop. What point in time do you want to go back to so we can see? Give me a point in time.
I don't know.
You can't tell me today, ma'am.
I don't know. 1960s, 70s.
1960s and 70s.
That's when the birth control pill came out, so still women.
In the black community, we were married at a rate of 8 out of 10 up to 1965.
Okay.
So what happened after that? No fault divorce, the Great Society, and government benefits, incentivizing women to be separate from their men.
But if we go off the basis of government assistance, it's majority of Caucasian women who are...
Well, yes, and there's a reason why. It's because in the United States, white women are more prevalent. But we're not talking about numbers, we're talking about percentage, right? So out of all white women, what is the percentage? Out of all black women, what is the percentage? That's what Kevin's getting at. Because let's say it was, 10,000 white women out of 1 million versus 10,000 black women out of 100,000. Who is actually the higher percentage? You see what I'm saying?
On government assistance.
Ma'am,
So
that is a disingenuous statistic. They're the larger percentage of the population. Percentage-wise, it's a non-starter. Don't give me this Caucasian women. You tell me when we are surpassing white people, you can tell me the problems of white people. See, prior to 1965, we didn't need the government stuff. The only reason you need a government that much is because you don't want your man. See, what I'm trying to get you to understand is this is the mindset of women. They believe so much bullshit that's put into their heads by women. But the thing is, you saying back in the day, men need to do what? What can men do? What can men do when women walk away?
They can go and choose different women, which is what has actually happened. It's that argument that I've made, right? They stay away from these girls, and they actually marry a different set of girls, and then repeat and repeat and repeat.
What was it again?
What can men do?
She's not listening. She's just talking over him.
When women don't walk? What can a man do if women are free to come and go as they please?
They can't do anything, but then that's kind of like, oh well, society has taken the control away from black men, which
No,
it hasn't. Well, kind of. Through, like, the principle is that once the sperm has left the body, that the guy has no control, right? So that is true, but so that would be the sense, and also the no fault divorce thing and the 80% initiation thing.
No, ma'am. See, black men. Society hasn't taken control because the same government benefits exist for white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, and Middle Eastern women. They stick with their men.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't society, it's your choice.
Okay. But it's also been bred to draw the black
Bred by whom?
No, it hasn't been. If that were the case, then okay, anyway, let's continue.
It was I mean, if we're talking about
the
that,
women, ma'am, go back to
no,
ma'am. We have already got. You keep trying to say we were conditioned by whom? Bred by whom? Bred by whom?
We were bred. It could be from the mothers.
Not could be, ma'am. Not could be.
Could be.
Not could be.
But you gotta understand.
There is no but. There is no but. And this is why I want you guys to understand. This is why you should avoid women like this. They are incorrigible.
Which, by the way, if you don't know what it means, I know a lot of you guys do know what it means, but I'm just translating for the people who don't. Incorrigible means you can't correct them. Nothing you do fixes the problem.
That's fine.
Facts, data, statistics don't matter. They don't want to be accountable. They cannot hold themselves accountable. It always has to be somebody else. It always has to be other society.
From the streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get that money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got. I get that money.
Indeed. Yeah, so what Kevin is saying is she's representative of the population. Like, again, she's not being like an ass to Kevin, but she absolutely, no matter what he says, refuses to take any accountability or responsibility.
I rebuke.
It burns. Oh, it burns.
You will never, ever get anywhere arguing back and forth with the white supremacists, the society, what chattel slavery, Jim Crow, black laws, segregation, and all other shit could not accomplish.
Indeed.
Feminism could.
Right. That's exactly right.
And I want you to understand that you, ma'am, you said you tell your daughter to go to college. That's what you said.
That says it all.
So it's another cycle of why not prioritize a relationship? Go back and listen. The 6 points I laid out, here it is. Here it is. I didn't make this shit up.
So one is career, mother-daughter
college,
wounds.
Career, mother-daughter, conflict avoidance.
Conflict avoidant.
You can't make this shit up, people. Mother's bailout plan.
So mother's bailout plan would be like raising the son to be like a son husband, basically.
Relationships end. Well, the men got to do X, Y, and Z. Men can't do shit.
Ghosts.
Married to her own mom. There you go. That's right there.
She's married to her own mother.
Career, education. You can't make this shit up. So, gentlemen, understand, it is not your responsibility to fix this shit. It is not. It is not. You cannot fix.
Right, you don't fix it. You just choose a girl that isn't like that. Indeed.
Fix this. Don't feel responsible. And when you're dealing with somebody who wants to keep telling you it's the system, we were bred or whatever, run. I do this for a reason. So you can understand how easy it is to get looped into this conversation. I do it.
It's easy to get looped into the conversation of I have no responsibility over my own actions. I have no it wasn't me, it was the systems outside of my control and la 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 la. But if you don't take any accountability or responsibility, you have no chance at an actual good life.
So you can easily how it is to get looped into it and make you feel like, you know, we got to fight together. You can't fight outside and inside. I want you guys to understand that the premise today so many women are putting forward is since 1960, there has been a massive psyops that has undermined the black community and taken over the mind of black women. I'm like, where was all this shit from 1865 to 1950, 1964?
Well, the dominant culture then wasn't wokeist, womanist garbage, right? And that says it all.
See, the government benefit was there for everybody. And if we use them, fine. But what was supposed to happen is you go get whatever benefit, bring it back to the house, and you share with your man. And you play the game. If you're counted as a double minority through Title IX and affirmative action, and you got offered the office job, you took the office job like my grandmother took the office job, and my grandfather worked in the field or in the mechanic shop. That's what you did. And then you came back home and you brought it all under the one household. But what happened is they took the office job and started feeling like
and started disdaining men and treating men that were not office workers like they were below them, and rejected them and threw them away.
They were better because they were making more money. My grandmother made more money. She had the nice job. My grandfather had the dirty jobs. But the only time that mattered was out there in the world. When he came home, she was his wife.
Smart.
What happened was in the 80s and 90s, too many of our women started feeling themselves because they were working in corporate America and you was working at UPS or the plant. That's why they can't find a man on their level.
I'm a PhD.
That's why all this education shit start mattering so much more. See, you're supposed to bring it back to your family. But then it became, well, I'm making $25 an hour and you making $16 an hour, and I ain't gonna go out there and cook and clean and do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, whatever. You can't make this shit up, people. It's bread. By whom? The mamas.
I mean, it's just hypergamy, right? Like, they want a superior man, a man that's, you know, that's the nature, right? You can't really go against nature in the long term, maybe for a generation, right? But it comes out eventually.
Can't blame the man, can't blame the parent that ain't there. Unmute yourself, please. Yeah, you have to turn YouTube off in the background. How old are you? One woman.
Well, I'm talking about the examples that I'm talking about, not all.
Okay. Okay.
But this person who is someone who I looked up to because she was married young, she did it the right way, and I did not. So I looked up to her. So what you're saying is, hey, Kevin, what you and the other hundreds of thousands of men are saying, they want women who are cooperative, not combative. But what I'm seeing in my anecdotal world is one woman who is combative is married. No.
Okay.
That's what she's saying.
That's what I just heard. What's wrong with what I just said?
Okay, well, what I'm trying to say, this person isn't combative necessarily,
but you are.
What I've seen with women who have men, they're kind of.
I said, man, you said that women are kept, and I said, how are we defining keep? You said kept. I said, we define by weddings, marriages. That's how we define over here. Because you did start off saying marriages, ma'am. So you cannot go between dating and marriages. How are we keeping score?
Well, you can.
Dating and marriage are two different things.
You can keep score by marriage if you'd like.
That's the only way we keep score. That's the only thing you can see. So you're saying that men would marry women who are combative?
Not necessarily combative, but they just have other qualities that I feel like are. I just don't understand how. I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
You're trying to ramble and waste time. Got it. Okay, let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all for notifications. Drop me a donation like Hunter M. A. Tom M. Bobby Dylan, Renaissance Press, and Brian. Shout outs to you, most recent Patreon subscriber. Thank you. My Patreon can be found at patreon.com/theheliosblog. My books are at bit.ly/heliosbooks. If you want coaching, message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.